I am out here at one of the least visited and most secluded national parks in the country called Great Basin National Park. This national park is basically on the Utah and Nevada border, and I drove in here late last night. I got in around like 10 o'clock, but I didn't realize there was an hour time change back. So it was really like 11 o'clock, but like Utah time. My plan is to hang out here for the weekend, camp up in the park, and just explore one of the least visited national parks. Really high elevation, so should be a really good time. This has got to be one of the most chill entrance stations I've ever seen for a national park. This is basically the main entrance, and right there is the sign to get in. Usually you go through a booth and all this stuff. This is just it. I was expecting like an entrance station, kind of like a glorified state park. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. The main feature of Great Basin National Park is something called the Wheeler Peak Scenic Drive, I believe. And that's basically the road, the main road. You take it up from about like, I'm probably off on these, but maybe like 8,000 feet up to 10,000 feet, or maybe 7 to 10. But it's really, really amazing as you keep going up this road. Kind of brings you back into now what is just like a really sort of high alpine mountainous area, which is really cool. So the thing is that it's closed in the winter months because of the snow and things like that. So I think this park is really best visited in the summer months when you have access to the road like we do now. Just some really unique, cool terrain that I feel like you wouldn't necessarily associate with Nevada. With this national park, there's kind of only a few main areas to actually hike at. So I'm at the Bristlecone Alpine Lakes trailhead. What's really cool about this area is that it's home to a few alpine lakes, which has really been one of my favorite things to experience this summer. But it's also home to Nevada's only glacier, which is really wild because when you think of Nevada, at least I think of the desert and red rock, stuff like that. So the fact that there is a glacier here, it's pretty incredible. Bristlecone Glacier Trail, Alpine Lakes, this way. And I forgot to mention I had like about 4 cups of coffee, I believe, and then I made 2 like breakfast sandwiches with bacon, and I actually spent the morning reading a little bit and just hanging out because the temperature is so nice. And I got here actually really early. I think the time change sort of like messed me up, so I think there might be some clouds or storms moving in later this evening, so it's a good thing we're getting this done early. I came to the first split here in the trail, not very far into it, but I didn't realize the glacier trail is 3 miles one way to get to the glacier, which would make it obviously 6 miles there and back. And then the actual Alpine Lake loop is 3 miles, so that's like 9-mile hiking. I think it's worth it though, I really do. It's the only glacier in Nevada, and this is also the Bristlecone Trail, where a lot of these trees here are like nearly 5,000 years old. It's one of the oldest living organisms on Earth, so I'm doing it. Feel good, it's early, and if we're kind of toast after this, maybe we won't do the Alpine Lakes, but we're doing it. So I came to one of like the first sort of features of this trail or the hike and really the park in general, and that are all these trees. And you might be thinking like, these are just look like trees, dead trees. But what's interesting is these are some of our longest living organisms on planet Earth. Some of these trees are like up to 5,000 years old. Like this one in front of me right here, it says it's born in 1250 BC and it's still alive, it's still kicking. But it's kind of cool just to be surrounded by stuff that's withstood the elements that you would see up here in an alpine area like this. So it might not look like much, but it's cool knowing the actual context and sort of like history behind these things. These things have just been up here chilling for like since the BC era. Pretty crazy. After about 2.5 miles, we made it up to the bottom of the Rock Glacier here. I was hoping it would take us a little bit closer. We were basically right at the bottom of the glacier, and although it kind of looks like just a big like boulder field, you can still kind of see the snow where it just like refuses to melt. I think what's really cool is if you look out like this way behind me, you could just tell that a glacier at some point just completely just ran through here, like, you know, millions and millions of years ago. So it's been pretty cool just to sit up here, be like really close to the base of these mountains and just sort of feel like the wind come through here and all that sort of stuff. But we're just below 11,000 feet. Got a little bit more difficult like once you got to this final push because a lot of the footing is pretty loose. Definitely stoked that we did this one. I believe we've come to the first of 2 alpine lakes up here on the trail. I think this one's called Teresa Lake or Therese Lake, but it's actually, it's kind of like a big puddle or pond. You can tell where the water eventually used to go, but it is definitely pretty dried up. It looks beautiful, but it's kind of just like a big puddle. We're gonna keep moving on to the next one, and I think the next lake might be a little bit bigger. A dilemma that's not really a dilemma, but it's like kind of, it's what's going on right now is all I'm getting at. Basically, I don't have anywhere to sleep. I drove up one of these dirt roads where there's some first come first serve campsites and it is completely full. So then I came over to the visitor center to try to get some more information, and every campsite that they have here, it just says full. And so I got a map of Great Basin because thinking like it could show the surrounding area if there's any public land or stuff. And there really isn't a lot. Last night I just stealth camped in the town of Baker, which is just like this really, really small town. And I didn't have any issues, so that's probably what I'll be doing again tonight. But I did want to have like a proper little campsite and be able to just enjoy the evening. So I don't think that's gonna happen, but that is just realities when, I guess when you try to come unprepared like I am and I don't plan anything, I don't reserve anything ahead of time. It's a little difficult to see, but there is a massive wall of rain coming to hit us. I can smell it, you can see it out there. And the wind has been picking up, this cloud is coming in, and so I would not be surprised if in the next like 5 minutes or so, we are just gonna be completely in a storm. Right as I finish saying that, I can feel the rain already hitting me. This is gonna be insane. I've been able to smell it. Oh my God, this wind, this is nuts. Oh my God. Oh, I got stuff in my eyes. Oh my gosh. To be honest guys, I really thought it was gonna just storm here. It seems like the front kind of like went across the mountains, and we got a little bit of rain here, but not like I was expecting. Basically have been sitting here eating tacos, watching the storm. I really thought it was gonna rain. Damn it. Because this town is so small, there's really not a whole lot of options to park. So I kind of just went for the one that's the least intrusive to everyone here. It's kind of just like this gravel, almost like construction lot that I just parked right on the end and put all my window shades up, and that's it. So with that being said, I'm gonna sign this vlog off here. Make sure you tune into the next one to see what we get into tomorrow. I'm tired, so thank you guys for watching. I'll see all of you guys in the next one. Take it easy, fam. Peace out.